Hi, Madison. Hi, Jonathan. This is Mrs. Wise, and I want you to turn in this Strategies, this STARS book, to page 27. So turn to page 27 for me. So I'm going to read the story to you, and then I'm going to read the questions. And when you get done with these stories and questions, I want you to bring your paper to me, and I will check you and Jonathan. Okay, Madison, are you ready? Jonathan, are you ready? Here we go. Read this story about a clever trick. As you read, think about what happens first, second, and so on. Then answer the questions. Abe told his friend Corey that he could read minds and was ready to prove his power. First, Abe spread out 9 magazines on the floor. He then arranged the magazines in 3 rows of 3 magazines each. Abe's sister, Sandra, who knew how to perform the trick, acted as his assistant. She placed a blindfold over Abe's eyes. Next, she turned him around so that his back faced Corey. Abe then asked his friend to touch one of the magazines. After Corey made his choice, Abe turned around and removed his blindfold. He told Corey to concentrate on the correct magazine, but not look directly at it. With a measuring stick, Sandra pointed to the rock bottom right corner of the first magazine on the top row. "Is it this one?" she asked Abe. Abe answered no. Sandra continued to point to magazines from the top row to the bottom row. Each time she asked, "Is this the one?" Each time, Abe shook his head. No, finally. When the pointer touched the last magazine in the bottom row, Abe nodded his head and he said, "Yes, that's the one." Corey was astounded. He wondered how Abe had figured out the correct magazine was at the bottom right. So now, I'd like for you to put your finger on number 1. I want you to read along as I read the question to you, and then I'm going to read choices A, B, C, and D. Madeline, Jonathan, here we go. What did Abe do first? A, he put on a blindfold. B, he placed 9 magazines on the floor. C, he asked Corey to touch a magazine. D, he nodded his head. So what I want you two to do is to go back in the text, and if you need to listen to me read it again, go all the way back on the YouTube, and you're going to be looking for what did Abe do first. Okay, so now I'm going to read number 2. In the story, which clue word tells what Abe did last? So this time, we're looking for last. A, first. B, then. C, next. D, finally. So I want you to go back in the story and find the clue word that tells us what Abe did last. So when you get finished with those 2, I want you to bring your paper up to me and I'll check it, and then we're going to go on to the next story.